Welcome back to 8 Times Up Outdoors.
Take two.
Yeah,
We all thought you couldn't get a retry on lives, but here we are.
yeah. This is Ty and Chris. We just did this whole thing and went through a whole intro, and we're talking. And I looked up in the corner of the video, and I'm like, "Why does it still say scheduled?" Because you have to click go live, otherwise it doesn't actually go live. So here we are. You can tell it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, out of practice.
That's right. So you hauled firewood. I painted a bedroom. Everyone's caught up now.
Yeah,
We're both getting old as crap because it hurts.
this is true. Yeah, I was talking to the boss tonight, and I'm like, oh, she's like, she's been kicking ass the last few days and working out, and she's like, I'm sore. I'm like, I'm gonna be. She's like, what? Why? I'm like, well, because I bent over today. Like, I had to pick something up off the ground. I'm gonna be sore. That's how it's gonna go.
Oh, yeah. I could barely move my neck because of that stupid painting today. It's terrible. But
Yeah.
anyways, back to fishing, I guess.
Here we are. Well,
yeah.
kind of back to fishing. We haven't gone fishing in what, a month?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, too much work
in Colorado.
Yeah. It's actually hasn't been terrible.
No.
We just kind of typically shut it down after Taylor and get ready for off season. So
yeah, and I don't know of any lakes right now that would have a boat ramp open. So
Blue's open.
Oh, is it?
I'd still like to. Their water just hit 50 degrees. So yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I know. It's tempting. It's tempting.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're watching right now, which we actually have people tuned in, we appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button, leave some comments.
Yeah. Hit that
chime
thumbs
in.
up.
Yeah. Chime in, talk trash. We appreciate that. Tonight we're going to be talking about tricks and treats. Because this was supposed to be last week, and then work and life got in the way. And it made more sense when it was a little closer to Halloween, but we're still going to do it. Tricks and treats that we've learned in the last year for fishing stuff. So whether it be new styles of fishing, new whatever, or just, I figured treats is more like things we've bought and have found to be advantageous. Let's go with that.
Yep.
So, and you're kind of thrown on the spot on this one, but you'll wing it.
Yep. So, here we go.
You got a first one? Because you could steal the one that I was going to do too.
No, actually, because I have it here, I'll talk about snap weights.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't have an actual weight, but I have the clip that they go on. If I can open up my dime bag, I mean, this small Ziploc bag.
You can't say
okay.
that.
I can't. It's frustrating. Fingers just don't work that way. But no, I thought that the learning of the snap weight was super helpful, especially for trolling without or with lead core line.
Mm-hmm.
So snap weight, right? There's a weight at the 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce weight hooked to this split ring, and then this you hook to your line somewhere, right? So no, I found this to be super helpful because I started running only like 4 to 5 colors of lead core, and then realizing I'd like to get another 20 feet down or another 30 feet down, and so hooking this onto the line itself, and just allowing it to drop down in the water column a lot deeper, made things a lot easier. And it's it's really simple. I don't know, I bought 50 of these little clip things and probably like 20 weights, and I bet I was $20 total by the time it's all said and done.
Right.
So you lose it. It's not a huge deal. But the only bad part is that I found, and I found it to be very frequently because I catch a lot of fish, is you got to take the snap weight off when you're reeling that bad boy in because, you know, it doesn't, it gets in the way. And
Yeah, that's one of those. Once you get someone once you get people that are used to it, it's pretty quick to just pop those off as you're reeling it in, whoever's netting the fish or whatever. Yeah.
I know you use these a little bit. Where do you put them at? Where do you put yours?
So I treat it kind of like a downrigger. So I run 20 to 30 feet of line out and then I clip it on there.
Oh, see,
So
we do it
it's,
the opposite.
what do you mean?
So I run, like, let's say I'm going to run all my lead core out.
Mm-hmm.
So I run all my lead core out and then I hook this on.
Oh, okay.
And then I run more of my like backer out. So then this drops down in the water.
Got it.
So it kind of creates that, like, that probably sounded really bad.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
When I hit the mic. Sorry, folks, I'm new at this, you know. But like, so it kind of trying to create that kind of like downward angle from the weight.
Right.
But I don't know.
I don't know. I run we were running like probably 30 to 40 feet than the weight. Because we do what's a color? 10 yards?
Yeah.
So maybe we were doing 60 feet, 60 to 90 feet. Because I think we were doing 3 colors than the weight, and then probably 2 more colors.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was super helpful.
Yeah. No, I used a ton of those. I lost a ton of them at Lake Powell. But freaking loved them down there. And then the other thing is it helps shorten your footprint in the water. So when you're turning, I noticed this year at Taylor, like way less issues getting tangled up with other lines because of that. So
right.
Super helpful. Love it. That's a good one.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the poor man's downrigger. Like,
yeah.
If you don't have the setup or the money or whatever, you just haven't bought downriggers yet. Like, these are super easy, super helpful and cheap. And you can, you have, I think, more maneuverability with them than you probably do with a downrigger as far as like the things you can play with and try and whatnot. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not as exact, or at least I don't know how to make it as exact yet.
Right.
But you could probably dial that in pretty close with a fish finder. If you just ran the line close to the transducer, you could figure out what depth those are running at.
For sure.
So, yeah, that's a good one. I actually almost put that down too. We would have had so many repeats. So, I'll go with this one. This is something kind of new to me. And this is like, man, if we're teaching people at a kindergarten level on 8 Times Up Outdoors, these people are teaching at like a doctorate level. But
yes.
I've found it super fascinating. One of the guide services here in Colorado called GSO Fishing has started. They call it a podcast. But I think it's only released on YouTube right now. At least that's where I'm watching or listening to it. It's just audio. But man, it is a deep cut into like fishing strategy styles that I have learned a ton about. It's stuff that, we've talked in the past. We haven't done a lot of tube jig fishing in the past. And these guys have, and they've got it figured out. And so they talk in detail about types of hooks, the angle of the, tube jig, like the weight, and like why choose different weights, why choose angle, like stuff that, I don't know, tie it on and throw it. So it's been super cool to listen to those. I'll definitely put a link for that. I'll put a link for the clip weights too. in the description when we're done with this one, because I've ordered some of those on Amazon. But go check out GSO Fishing on YouTube. Listen to their stuff. You got to be kind of wanting to get into that like nerdy, like super in-depth side of fishing, which is not really what we do, but I find it fascinating. And if you find it fascinating, then you may get into that as well. So GSO Fishing on YouTube. That's my first tip, I guess.
Yeah, those guys are solid.
Treats.
I think you got the tricks. I don't have treats.
Yeah, I do have some of those. All right, what's your next one? Do the knot.
All right. I had to learn this knot, and I think it's called the Albright knot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, and the reason I had to learn it was because every time I would tie like braided line to mono or fluorocarbon or anything that had a different diameter, then the two lines didn't have the same diameter. I could never figure out like how to do it. So like I turned into Gordy Google and Googled how to tie two lines with different diameters together.
There you go.
And this is that knot that came up, the Albright. And I could be wrong on the name.
No, I looked it up beforehand. So you're right with Albright. Right. Yeah. I always call it the albatross, and I'm like, that's not it.
Yeah. No, but it's a super simple knot. Like you were talking about, like if we teach it at kindergarten level, like that's a kindergarten knot.
Yeah.
And I really liked it because like at Taylor, I could tie it really quickly, even though my hands were cold and not working as well as they should. You know what I mean? And like my dexterity was not the greatest and have, whatever, but like it was very, very simple to do it. And it holds so strong. Like I've never, and I've, tried to pull them apart. Never once.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. And I wrote that one down too, because I've used what is it? The double uni. Is that the other one? I think. And I can never remember how to tie it. Like, and I feel like that knot's easier when you're sitting at a table. And so if I'm at home, like that's how I would attach my leader to the braid, was that. And then you showed me this knot, and I was like, that's the best thing ever. Like, I can remember it. I can tie it all the time. Like, it is fantastic. And I had twice while we were at Taylor that I had jigs get hooked on rocks, 100 feet underwater.
Right.
And the knot never gave out, like whether the line broke or whatever, but and that was using 25-pound test, and that knot didn't get out. So
yeah, I know it's a good one. It's an easy one. We'll have to do a video to show how to tie it.
Yeah, we're trying to start a series called the 8 Times Up Labs. That's going to be some of that practical stuff. So that'll be the first one. It's how to tie that albatross, aka Albright knot, for the real name. We'll just call it the albatross knot, and then no one searching it will know that it's something else.
Then they'll have to come here to get it.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. Now that you've taken 2 of the 3 that I was going to use, I got to get a little more creative here. Trying to think of, I've talked about so much of the other stuff already, because I would have said that Mega Jaws bait cast reel from Cast King. That's probably a treat that I would count. I used it more than any other reel while we were at Taylor this year, for everything from jigging to just blasting, casting, light, heavy, everything. And it was solid. I was super impressed. So, I mean, it's not introductory price for a bait caster, because it's like $125, $129. But I will say, if someone's learning a bait caster, man, and you want to save yourself some headache and probably snapping $100 worth of rods, it may be worth just starting out with that Mega Jaws, because that new braking system is pretty impressive. So
what you're saying, if I want to try and learn how to use a bait caster, I should try that one.
I mean, it would be a good place to start. It'd be a good place to start. I'm not sure anything's safe from you breaking it, but
I don't break things.
mm,
I don't crash things. I don't break things. I don't throw temper tantrums, and I don't cuss a lot.
right.
Dickhead.
Yeah. Don't crash things. Never would just take a drone and just pilot it straight into the water
How
like
did you come up with that so quick?
that. Yeah. I'm glad we used that last time. It was just ready and right
Oh,
there. That was
that's
perfect.
brutal.
And that's is why we need your Patreon support, so we can
Yeah.
buy a new drone, because Chris flew it into the water. So yeah.
I thought a
Um,
submarine would be more beneficial for fishing.
yeah. We were gonna buy one of those too, but now we gotta wait.
You know,
We'll get there. All right. What's your next one? You got another one?
no.
No, I got nothing.
No, I was gonna do a treat, but I don't know that I would call it a treat yet. I haven't caught anything on it.
What's that?
I have high hopes that them stupid football-sized cowbells are gonna catch something one day.
Yeah.
No, I thought about mentioning planer boards, but I didn't use any of those this year.
Yeah. You do have something that I want to get, and that's those trolling socks parachute things.
Oh, yeah. Drift socks.
There
Drift
you
socks.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's another great thing I bought on Amazon. And I'm on my second set. Thank you, Bill. No, it's just it looks like one of those orange, it's blue, but it looks like the orange windsock, that you'd see at the airports and stuff. Kind of looks like that. It's that cone shape. Tie that bad boy off to the edge of the boat, just pitch it over, let it fill up with water, and then start. I use my big motor for trolling with that, and usually like my 40 horse puts us at like 2 miles an hour to 2.5, like depending on the water. But I like to troll at that like 1.5, 1.7 area, and I just throw one of those overboard, and it slows us down nicely.
Right.
It does increase a little bit of the drag, right? So you throw it off the left side, and the boat wants to shift. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, it's great for. You can get two of them on Amazon for like $40. And so,
Yeah.
like, if you really needed to slow yourself down, you could throw one off each side. But I've only used one on a side at a time. So,
Yeah, I think I need to get a set of those for the same reason. Like if I'm trolling with my big motor, I'm like 2.2, 2.3. And a lot of times you're trying to get into that 1.5, 1.7 range. And to do that for me, I have to be using my actual trolling motor, and I have to use it at full speed. So I kill the batteries if I'm doing that on our actual trolling motor. So,
I was doing some research on the drift socks or whatever, and a lot of people use those for like drifting. And so like when like for ocean people or people that, fish in a really strong current, they pitch it off one side and it keeps their boat like parallel or horizontal or whatever throughout the water, and it just keeps it slow, and it
Right.
still allows it to drift. But yeah, they throw that thing. I mean, because it comes with like 35, 40 feet of rope. I'm like, I don't understand why it's got so much rope. And then now it makes sense. You throw that thing way the hell out there and let it just slow you down as you're going through the current. But
Right.
yeah, you definitely, if you're going to troll with it, you want to have only as much rope as you need, and it should not reach the motor at
Yeah.
all, at all, at all, at all.
Yeah. Keep
Because
it far away from the prop.
yeah, you turn a little bit, it gets sucked under.
Then it's bad. Then you're clicking buy again on Amazon.
Yeah, cussing and throwing. Yep. Yep. I like to give Bill grief because he did that to the first one I had, and then I did it to the second, and then I had to buy 2 more.
Then there you were.
Yep.
There you were. That's funny. This one's not super like fishing per se related, but I'm gonna throw this out there. Partly because I was just at a concert last night and watched him. But if you're looking for new fishing music, which I I'm a big proponent of having music playing on the boat when you're out doing whatever. If you're looking for new fishing music, highly recommend a guy named Cousin Curtis. Just had a new album came out. He calls it root stomp music. It's like bluegrass and blues had a baby, but super fun, high energy. He's great. He's kind of unknown right now, but I really don't think that's going to last long. So there you go. New boat music, Cousin Curtis. That's a tip for you.
I haven't listened to Cousin Curtis as much as you have, but I do enjoy his root stomp music.
It's super fun, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Last night we went to his album release party last night. And we got there early. Like we were first in line to get in, mostly because I was like, I don't know this venue and I'm too old to stand all night. So I wanted to make sure I got a chair. And
Yeah.
we showed up, and the first probably 30 people in line, we were the youngest by probably 10 to 15 years, right? And so
Dang.
I overhear this group behind us. They're like, "Hey, is this guy like young or what?" And one of the guys goes, "Yeah, he's pretty young. He's like, mid 30s, probably 35 or so." And the lady goes, "Oh, so he's like half my age." And then shortly after that, I hear, "Well, there's not going to be that many people here." And I'm like, "Sign says sold out." And I'm pretty sure the venue fits 200. So yeah, there's going to be a few people here. Like, oh
Where
no,
was it?
it was funny. It's called the Blue Corn Candle Factory in Montrose. You may not even know. It's pretty new. It's only been there for probably a couple of years.
Huh.
It's the first time I've ever actually been in the building, but so they took a giant, it used to be like a furniture warehouse store down by, oh, what is it? Like just before like Taco Bell and the Big O Tires on the right, if you're going south out of Montrose.
Yeah.
So there was that big furniture store that was there. So
Oh,
they
okay.
took half of that and it's a candle factory, like manufactures candles. And then, like a quarter of the place is just a big warehouse sales room, but it's got a bar, it's got cool seating. Like
Huh.
it was cool.
That's rad.
So
Yeah. I don't know that I could go fishing for an entire day without some type of tunes being
yeah,
played.
yeah.
Like I'm all about like, the peace and quiet and the tranquility of fishing and being in the outdoors, but there's only so much that I can stand listening to my own thoughts, man.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
sitting out on the boat and oh, you got to have music.
I've forgot my speaker a couple times going to Schweitzer, like on solo trips.
Yeah.
And I still eventually I have to like take my phone and just put it in the cup holder and be like, this is good enough. So
Yeah, you got to have the tunes.
that's right. Well, with that, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsor. And by sponsor, I mean all of you people that actually watch and support the. We appreciate you guys so much. I was talking to someone actually this week that had seen some of our stuff and started talking about Patreon, and she was like, "Ooh, I'm going to sign my dad up for that for Christmas." And I'm like, "That's actually genius. Like, if
Yeah.
you know a fisherman or woman in your life looking for a cool Christmas gift, if you sign up at 8 Times Up Outdoors Patreon this month, typically we do 3 months and then send out the first swag bag. But if you sign up this month, they will get that Christmas swag pack that we're sending out, which you saw the cup in there. That is this cup right here. It is made by a company called Boundless Voyage. It's a titanium cup. It weighs like, I don't know, 6-8 ounces. Like, it is so light. But it's vacuum sealed, double walled. So even though this thing, I mean, the thickness on this is nothing. But you could I used it the entire time we were at Taylor, and used it for coffee and whiskey at night. And, like with the coffee, you don't even feel it. With the whiskey, it stays cold. Like if you have ice in it or whatever. I was so impressed that I was like, we're gonna send these to everyone because people should have them. So, this is one of the things that is going out in the Christmas swag. They also come with like a cool little lid that sits on top, which is great for camping and stuff because it keeps bugs and like fire sparks, embers, out of your glass. So super cool. So if you want to sign up, patreon.com/8 times up outdoors. Guarantee it's $5 or $10 a month. You can sign up at either level, and we consistently will send you more product than what you pay in. Like it is worth it. Like, and I'm not just saying that like we do, because if you're willing to support financially this crazy idea we have, we want to just say thank you more than anything. So make sure you sign up for that. It is a great idea for the people that fish in your life coming up for Christmas. So
heck yeah. Speaking of our Patreon stuff and swag and merch and all that merchandise, whatever the kids call it these days. So no shit, there I was an hour ago sitting at the dinner table and Wyatt goes, "Hey Dad, I saw somebody wearing your merch at Walmart." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, he's wearing a shirt and a hat." So, of course, then came the joke, "Are you sure it wasn't your dad?" He's like, "No, man." But yeah, I don't know who he saw, but he saw somebody strutting around in our stuff. So
there you go.
pretty rad.
Yeah, it's getting there. I mean, we're
a big deal.
We cover the US and Canada pretty well at this point.
Yeah.
Like we got people all over. So our Canadian friends that are maybe watching, I don't know, they'll watch eventually. Hey, all of your stuff is coming at Christmas. So it really will be like Christmas for y'all because you're getting everything we've put out this year. Which what all is it? We've have the playing cards. Hey, speaking of Andrew West, that's awesome. We have the playing cards. We did the SPF shirts.
Yep.
And then we'll have the Christmas one. So that's our 3.
Yeah. Were the poker chips this year?
We've been throwing the poker chips and koozies and stickers in with like every pack we send out.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember, like, we've done so many that now I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The other piece of this Christmas one I am stoked for. I'm not going to say what it is because I want there to be some Christmas surprise in it. But it's not just the cup, like it's coming with some other stuff, and the other
Always.
super cool. So I'm really excited. So,
Hell yeah.
well, you got any other tips or tricks you want to close out with?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can think of. Not off the top of my head.
All right. Well, that's pretty good. Yeah. If you're watching, thank you. Andrew, thank you for everything, man, supporting and tuning in. We appreciate it a ton. Make sure to share this with your friends, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We are currently over 300 subscribers. The goal is to be at 400 by the end of November, which is going to be close. But the bigger goal with that is to hit 500 by the end of 2023. So, yeah.
Send it out.
Yep. When you're sitting around with your family, if someone starts talking about fishing at Thanksgiving, make sure to tell them to go check out 8 Times Up Outdoors.
And I will tell you this, discussing fishing at the Thanksgiving table or the Christmas table is a hell of a lot safer than politics or religion right now. So you could steer that conversation down there, make your boys some money, and get yourself some sweet swag and not be the ass at the table.
There you go. That's
You're
the
welcome.
best. That's the best tip we've gotten all night. There you go. Chris for president 2024. I'm in for it.
Yeah. You're all fired.
So perfect. Well, yeah. Until next time, tight lines.
Cool cans.
We'll see you guys later. End.